You've felt it. That little jolt of confidence an hour into something brand new. When you catch yourself thinking, oh, I've basically got this. And you've seen the other version of it. Someone holding forth, totally certain, on a subject they clearly barely understand, completely unable to see how little they actually know. Here's the unsettling question. From the inside, how would you ever tell which one of them you are right now? There's a famous idea for exactly this, the Dunning-Kruger effect, and you've almost certainly seen it drawn as a curve, climbing to a peak nicknamed Mount Stupid. Tonight, two things most videos won't tell you: what the effect actually says, and the part almost nobody mentions, that the famous curve is a fake, and a big chunk of the whole thing might be a kind of illusion. Let's start with what's real. Start with the actual study, because it's been distorted almost beyond recognition. In 1999, two psychologists, Kruger and David Dunning, gave people tests in a few different areas: humor, logical reasoning, and grammar, and then asked each person a second question. How do you think you did compared to everyone else? Then they lined up what people guessed against how they actually scored. And the people at the very bottom, the worst performers, showed a striking gap. On average, those in the bottom quarter scored down around the 12th percentile, but they guessed they'd landed somewhere around the 62nd. They thought they were a little above average. They were near the bottom. Now, the explanation Dunning and Kruger gave is the part worth holding on to because it's genuinely clever. They argued it's a problem of metacognition, your ability to judge your own ability. And here's the trap. The exact skills you need to be good at something are often the same skills you need to recognize that you're good at it. To know whether a joke is funny, you need a sense of humor. To know whether an argument is sound, you need to understand logic. So if you lack the skill, you're hit twice. You get it wrong, and you lack the very tool you need to notice you got it wrong. The incompetence and the blindness to it are the same missing piece. That's why it's so hard to feel from the inside. You're trying to measure yourself with a ruler you don't have yet. The beginner stands at the bottom of a mountain, looks up at the small part they can see, and thinks that's the whole mountain. Not out of arrogance. They simply can't see what they can't see. Quick gut check before we go on. Pick the thing you're newest at right now, the skill you started most recently. Hold it in mind. We'll come back to it, because once you understand this, you start noticing it everywhere. The first week with a new skill, when everything feels easy and you can't imagine why people make such a fuss about it. The meeting where the person who understands the least talks the most, and the person who actually knows the subject keeps adding the word but. Because here's the mirror image that the famous story usually skips. In the same study, the top performers did the opposite. They were the most accurate about themselves, but they slightly underestimated their rank. The better you get, the more clearly you can see how much there still is to know, and the more you assume that what feels easy to you must be easy for everyone. Real expertise tends to come with a quiet hum of doubt. Loud certainty on a hard subject is often a sign the person hasn't yet seen how deep it goes. Everything up to here is the version every video gives you. Here's the part they get wrong, and it's the honest one. That neat little curve you've seen, the one that climbs to a peak called Mount Stupid and then crashes into a valley of despair, that is not in the study. Dunning and Kruger never drew it. It's an internet invention, and it gets the shape backwards. It gets worse, or really more interesting. Over the last decade, statisticians, Nuhfer and his colleagues, and later Gignac and Zajenkowski, have pointed out that a large part of the effect might be a kind of mathematical mirage. Two boring things conspire. One, almost everybody, skilled or not, rates themselves a little above average. That's just a quirk of human self-image. Two, when you measure anything noisily, the people who score at the extremes, the very lowest and the very highest, will on average drift back toward the middle when you ask them to estimate. Put those two together, And you can generate the classic Dunning-Kruger graph out of completely random numbers. No real psychological effect required. In fact, the way the chart is usually drawn, comparing your error against your own score, is partly comparing a number to a version of itself, which almost guarantees the famous downward slope no matter what. So is the whole thing fake? No. And this is the careful part. When researchers strip out the statistical noise, something smaller and real is still left standing. Your ability to judge your own skill genuinely does improve as your skill improves. A grandmaster really does assess their own chess more accurately than a beginner assesses theirs. The signal is real. It's just far gentler and less dramatic than the meme. And a good chunk of that scary curve was always a trick of the math, not a law of the mind. Which leaves us in a much more honest place. Not stupid people are too stupid to know they're stupid. That's a cartoon, and it's mostly wrong. The truer, humbler version is this. Every one of us, in any area where we're still a beginner, is partly blind to the size of our own blind spot, and we tend to feel most certain exactly when we have the least to back it up. And honestly, a little of that blindness is a gift. If beginners could see the full mountain, every hard part, every year of work ahead, most of us would never start anything at all. That early, slightly delusional confidence is what gets you to pick up the guitar, write the first page, send the first message. The bug and the feature are the same thing. You have to not quite know how hard it is in order to begin. So you don't want to kill that confidence. You just don't want to get stranded in it. And there's a simple way to check where you stand. Try it right now on that skill you picked a minute ago. Don't ask yourself, how much do I know about this? That's the broken ruler, and it'll lie to you. Ask instead, can I name what I don't know yet? Can I list the gaps, the hard parts, the open questions? Because that's the tell. A true beginner can't list what they're missing. The map looks complete to them because they can't see the empty spaces. The moment a subject starts to feel bigger and harder the more you learn, the moment your confidence dips and the questions multiply, don't read that as failure. Read it as the first real sign that you're finally starting to see the whole mountain. The drop in certainty isn't you getting worse. It's you, for the first time, getting an accurate look at the climb. If this made you a little less sure of yourself, good. That's the climb starting. Hit subscribe. A new one every week. How your own mind quietly tricks you.